everyone, what's up? My name is Joss and welcome back to Squibbles Reads. We are here again with the lovely Brittany from Under the Radar Books. We did a little or a lot of book shopping the other day, so this is the second part of our haul. We're going to show you about another 12 books, I believe. I will also leave a link to the first part of the haul as well as Brittany's channel in the down bar below, so if you guys want to check that out, you can see the rest of the books that we got. So the first book that I got is Fingersmith by Sarah Waters. This is being blurbed as Oliver Twist with a twist, female and sexually aware, which I've heard that all of Sarah Waters' books are. I think Fingersmiths are these like petty thief type of criminals, and it is set in Victorian day.
This first book that I have I actually found at a charity shop, and I was so excited to find it. It was like one of my favorite finds of the day, and that is The Last Days of Rabbit Haze by Anna McPartlin, and I have been eyeing this for so long. It follows a woman who really loves her life, and she finds out that she does have a terminal illness, and it follows obviously the last days of her life and how she's coping with that. And I think it's going to be really heartfelt, really touching, and it just seems like a really beautiful book.
The second book, we actually both got a copy of this book because there were two of them and they were very inexpensive. This is called The Skeleton Cupboard by Tanya Byron. This is actually a nonfiction collection of stories or essays kind of. She is a clinical psychologist, so these stories were inspired or describe some of the clients and patients that she did see in real life, and on the cover it does say stories of crisis, sanity, and hope. So there's that one.
My next book that I found was also at a charity shop. I have never heard about this in my entire life, but I had to snag it because it just looks so interesting. And it is actually supposed to be the third installment of the Alice in Wonderland series, and it is considered a cyberpunk novel. So it actually is illustrated very similarly to the Alice in Wonderland books, but incorporates kind of steampunk elements. So it just looks really cool and really different, and since I really love Alice in Wonderland, I am very excited to pick it up, and I'll be interested to see how it turns out.
Alright, so of course I had to pick up a thriller, and the one that I got is called The Wicked Girls by Alex Marwood. Both of us have actually been looking at this for quite a while. This is about two girls who met in the summer of 1986, and by the end of the day they are both charged with murder. 25 years later, one of them, Kirsty, she actually becomes a journalist, and she comes across a carnival cleaner, and her name is Amber, and this is actually the other girl that was charged with her in 1986. There has been a slew of murders that has been happening in present day, and they are somehow caught up in all of that as well.
The next one that I found was also at a charity shop, and I was so excited to find this edition because some of the editions of this book are very unpleasant, and this one is absolutely stunning. This is The Man in the High Castle by Philip K. Dick, and I don't think I need to tell too much about this because it is currently an Amazon TV series, and there's a lot of people talking about it, a lot of people reading it, but it is based off of the fact that in an alternate reality, Japan and Germany won World War II, and slavery is present and very prevalent in the United States, and so it just follows this alternate reality where how things could have been if they had turned out differently. So it just sounds really fascinating. It's definitely a classic of science fiction, so I'm really excited to read it.
Alright, so my next book is also super beautiful, and this one is called The Quick by Lauren Owen. I honestly wouldn't have really picked this up had it not been for Brittany telling me that she really wanted it had I not bought it, and yes. I was like, I'm gonna buy it. So now she doesn't have it and I have it.
I was very jealous. I was like, damn it, I want that.
So this book is set in 1892 in London, and this guy, James, he is a young poet, and he goes missing, and his sheltered sister sets off to find him, and she discovers this supernatural world. It has like some magical realism, I guess, elements, as well as a lot of bookish references. So there's that, and I have it.
I will get it. I will get it one day.
You'll get it one day.
Okay, my next one I was very excited to find, and that is The Complete Stories of Khalees Lispector. And I can't remember where I heard about this, maybe a podcast or something, but they talked about how she's one of the best short story writers they've ever read. And this is translated by Katrina Dodson. These stories seem like they are very dark and very complicated, and that just sounds right up my street. It talks about different stories with the smallest woman in the world, talking about madness and passion, as well as a short story about a fork that is plunged into a good friend's neck. So
not this one.
So that just sounds really intriguing, and it's huge, but lovely and floppy. So I'm really excited to read it.
The next book that I found is also absolutely gorgeous. It is called All My Puny Sorrows by Miriam Taves. I don't know if you guys can see this, but the cover is like gold foil, and it's also
beautiful.
like salmon and purple. Yeah, really beautiful. It is about a... Oh, hello. It's about a woman named Elf who is a concert pianist, but before she embarks on an international tour, she actually attempts suicide, and her sister Yali has set out to keep her family from falling apart, and does ask the question of what do you do when a loved one wants to die.
This next book is Atmospheric Disturbances by Rivka Galchin, and this has won so many awards, and it is the story of Dr. Leo Lebenstein, and his wife disappears, but he says that she leaves in her place basically a carbon copy of herself, but he claims that even though she looks and sounds like his wife, she is not his wife. So he enlists the help of one of his psychiatric patients who believes that he is a secret agent, and together they set out to find his real wife and basically go off on this huge adventure and try to discover the truth about where his real wife has gone. So this just sounds so interesting and really psychological, and I cannot wait to get to it.
This is a book that I found out about on BookTube. I forget whose channel it is, but if you've read this book, please let me know in the comments. This is called The Tower, the Zoo, and the Tortoise by Julia Stewart. It's about a guy named Balthazar who's worked in the Tower of London for the past 8 years, and he is now tasked with setting up a menagerie of a bunch of exotic animals who were gifted to the queen, but of course some of them have to like go missing, and some of them have just gone crazy, and tourists are running for their lives. So really quirky and a lot of animals, which I really enjoy. So yeah, really stoked for this as well.
The last one that I grabbed was one I have been searching for forever, and I just haven't found the right copy or a very good copy of it, and that is The Other by Thomas Tryon. And this, all that I know about it is that he's a very famous horror writer that wrote lots of horror books that are critically acclaimed, and this one follows a creepy story about twins. So, you know, count me in on that one.
Alright, so that is the end of the haul. As I mentioned before, I will leave the first part of this haul as well as Brittany's channel link in the down bar below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!
Bye.